Welcome back, everyone, to this evening's edition of Lehigh Valley Sports Scene. Dan Freemuth back with you here on the Service Electric Network. And so very pleased now to be joined by a pair of international track cyclists currently training and competing over at Valley Preferred Cycling Center in Trexlertown. To my immediate right, it's Mike Schoonderwoerd from the Netherlands and fellow Dutchman Yorick Bos. Both of these guys training, competing over at Valley Preferred Cycling Center. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having us.
Let's start with where we begin all of these interviews, and that is specifically with T-Town and what a special place it is. And Mike, let's go to you first. This is your second time here at Valley Preferred Cycling Center, first since 2017. So how nice is it to be back, and just how special a place is T-Town?
It's really nice. The crowd is nice. The riders are very nice. It's like a family to come back with. And the races are nice. It's high-level racing. It's good for the experience. So it's really nice to come back here. Yeah, for sure.
And good for your training and development. You're 25 years old, right? Kind of in the heart of your track cycling career. Yeah. Yorick, for you, slightly different perspective. We can elaborate on that in just a bit. But you also, last time here in T-Town, 2017, 2018-ish. What's it like to be back? How special a place is T-Town?
T-Town is an amazing place. It's my home away from home. I've been here 5 seasons. I've spent here probably 1.5 years of my life. So it's an awesome place to be back and see everyone and meet new people. So it's a pleasure to be back and meeting all the people again and ride my bike, and the environment is just amazing. So I'm really pleased to be back, and this time again with Mike.
Yeah. And you're back in a slightly different capacity this time around. Yeah. So let's go there, because the last time we saw you at T-Town, 2017, actually your final race as a professional track cyclist took place at Valley Preferred Cycling Center. As a result of some injuries, you had to retire officially from track cycling. But you're back on the track, you are racing again, but also serving as a mentor to other track cyclists, specifically your fellow countrymen and Mike. What's that experience been like?
Yeah, I've been coaching for a long time, even when I was a professional cyclist. That's how I met Mike. I used to be his coach, and in 2017, the last time we were here, I told Mike, let's come along, and T-Town is just an amazing place. Mike came along, and now 5 years later, we're back together, and like you said, it's a different perspective this time. In 2017, on last Friday night, I retired from professional cycling. I've been enjoying many other sports since then, and now 5 years later I got the itch again, just with a completely different perspective. You know, I decided to try again and race a little bit. So it's my first race in 5 years, my last race here and my first race here. So it's nice to be here again and have this experience and be back on the boards and being back on the track. And it's been a pleasure, even though it's a completely different experience this time. But it's just as much enjoyable as all those years ago. Yeah. Absolutely.
And really kind of came full circle. You mentioned the last race in 17, first race back. In fact, Yorick had to apply for his racing license again just to be able to competitively get back on the track. But you're back, and most importantly, having fun being back on the track.
Absolutely. It's, 5 years ago, it was a completely different world, professional cyclist, then decided to retire, get a full-time job, completely different life. And this time, like you said, applied for my race license, and I came out here and decided to just give it another try and see how it goes. It's been just like the last time, even though I'm not competing to win anymore, just competing to compete and be here with Mike and help him out whenever I can and however I can. I've been enjoying it that much, so it's been great to be back and give it another go, even though it's just for fun this time. But I never know if it's going to be the last time or it's going to be another year, so I'm enjoying every moment that I can, and happy to be here once more.
Great to be back, and great to have you back here in the Lehigh Valley. And Mike, how's Yorick been as a coach and a mentor, both on and off the bike?
Yeah, it's very nice to have someone who's been here before and like teach you the way of and how to record stage on the races, how to do stuff. It's really nice to have that. So you can more focus on your racing and not on the things beside that. Yeah. So that's really nice to have an experienced rider / coach with you. Yeah, for sure.
Experienced rider. That's the polite way of saying a guy's older than we are. But
that's okay. That's okay.
Mike, so Yorick has mentioned, he's here to help kind of mentor and have some fun. You at 25 years old, I mean, you're right in the sweet spot of your professional career. So how specifically has the racing gone for you this summer at Valley Preferred Cycling Center?
Well, it went pretty well. It was tough to ride with the guys who've been here for months, so they know the track, know each other more. But it's really fun. I did pretty well, I guess. We won some races, compete for the win, so it's kind of nice. And 5 years ago was a little bit weaker, so now I'm stronger and can do more about it. So it's really nice to be back and compete for the win.
So five years later here at Valley Preferred Cycling Center, and as you kind of look ahead in your track cycling journey, what are some of the goals that you have for yourself, either short-term or long-term on the bike?
For short term, I really want to ride good on the next nation races back at home. I want to ride for the win. That's really a big goal of mine. And I also want to ride the 6 days or compete there, if that's possible. It's really high level races, but it's really fun to go there. So yeah, that's like kind of goals for me.
The 6-day racing, 6 days across Europe in different cities, Berlin, Copenhagen, Amsterdam. Sounds like a wonderful experience, and best of luck in your pursuits in nationals and for the 6-day riding competition. When you look at your track cycling journey, so to speak, for you, Mike, where did that sort of begin for you as an athlete, and then ultimately kind of honing in on track cycling being the one for you?
Yeah, first I was a soccer player. I played in the defense, and after some injuries I came to cycling, and I started with mountain biking and learned a lot. And then the mountain bike track was next to the track, and we were looking at it and was like, oh, that's pretty cool, let's try it out. And that's why I go to the track. And I really enjoyed it, and that's why I learned Yorick. He was coaching me, and makes fun to have fun on the track and makes it enjoyable. So it was that's the way I kept to track racing. Yeah.
So one thing sort of led to another, and Yorick, for you, pretty similar story. A lot of sports, and eventually narrowing down to one.
Yeah, like a kid, I just tried every sport that I heard of. And then when I got 10 years old on my birthday, I told my parents I'm going to go and try cycling. And I never looked back. I've been riding my bike for 22 years now, progressively going through the ranks, from just a local rider to the national team, and then building up to being an international rider. It's incredibly fun, and that's why I like to share my experience, and that's how I started going into coaching, and eventually meet Mike and many other riders. So it's cycling has been a huge part of my life, and it still is, even though I'm on a slightly different level right now, and I hope it will be for the rest of my life.
For professional athletes, it can sometimes be tough to retire and step away from professional competition. Doesn't seem like that's been the case for you. You found a number of different paths, including cycling, to continue your post-professional career. How's that transition been, and how much fun are you having in retirement from professional track cycling?
Well, being a professional athlete is an amazing thing, but what you cannot do as a professional athlete is experience many other things, because you always have the risk of injury. So ever since retirement, I've been trying many different sports, just like when I was a little kid. I go to the gym almost daily. I do a lot of running, trail running, cycling. I'm even planning on starting maybe boxing. So it's like many plans that I like to do, and I was never able to do that after professional athlete. So when I retired, I never looked back and just look forward to experience many new things. And it was never that hard. Of course, I missed the life of being a professional athlete, but I just got from one thing into another, and that made it so much easier. So there wasn't a big struggle for me when retiring, and maybe I got lucky. I don't know, but I keep busy with sport, and so I train just as much as I used to do. Just have to be careful with the old injuries to not bothering me again. I'm always doing something.
And part of that has been coaching. How do you feel Mike's progression has been as you've kind of watched him over
Yeah.
the last few years.
Yeah.
How have you seen him grow and develop on the bike?
A lot, yeah. So the first time I brought Mike here was basically the end of my career and the start of Mike's career. And through the last 5 years, I saw him grow as an athlete, as a person, from someone that had to learn a lot to someone that matured on a bike, outside the bike, got way stronger, got more race instinct. So whenever I see him race here and I see him doing better so much than the last time, it's impressive to see his growth. And I hope he will continue growing as a cyclist in the coming years. And I foresee a big future for Mike if he continues on the way he has been doing. So yeah, I'm happy to following his career and supporting him wherever I can still in the future.
Great progression by Mike. He's got a great coach and a great mentor at his side. I want to close with this. We'll end on kind of a fun note here. You guys, we learned before we started here, you're in the same house as the cyclists we've had on the last couple of weeks. It seems like it's a fun place to be, but also a bit competitive. We've learned basketball and cards in weeks past, and we learned just before we got started here, ladder ball. A pretty stiff competition, Mike, in the ladder ball community at the house. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big deal. You want to win it. It's really nice. And yeah, like you said, it's like a family. It's a nice environment to live and focus on your races, but also have fun and relax. And so it's really nice to go there. Yeah.
But you guys are all professional athletes, and that means you're competitive, be it on the bike or in the backyard, ladder ball with the phone flashlights because the sun's already gone down.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
But having a lot of fun, and we're so glad to have you guys training and competing at Valley Preferred Cycling Center. Yorick Bos, Mike Schoonderwoerd, thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. Best of luck, not only the rest of this summer, but throughout the rest of your journeys on and off the bikes. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Both currently training and competing over at Valley Preferred Cycling Center. Don't forget our coverage of all the goings-on at the Velodrome. Continue all summer long right here on the Service Electric Network. For our live schedule, you can get that online anytime at senetwork.tv. We're back to put a wrap on this evening's edition of Lehigh Valley Sports Scene right after this.